Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Yes, we have even more news yet again today, so let's get to it. The very first thing that I want to show you guys is actually a really cool model that was just created by Aquarium Master. If you've never heard of him, he's probably one of the most talented artists that I've ever seen when it comes to creating really cool kind of stylized, animated style dinosaur artwork. However, he has just recently gone ahead and attempted to sculpt out some dinosaurs, and I'm honestly really impressed with his initial release. This is a Moros Intrepidus, and it looks really nice. Like, honestly, it looks quite beautiful, especially for being his very first release. And he's begun selling these on his eBay store, and they're actually really cheap as well. I believe they're around $12.99 or so, I think, potentially even with free shipping. So definitely awesome to see him entering the sculpting world and releasing some really cool dinosaur sculpts. If this is something you are interested in, I will include a link in the description straight to his eBay store where you can go ahead and purchase yourself one of these. I do believe he had initially posted 5 for sale. They sold out really quickly. He will be posting more for sale very soon, so if you are interested in picking some of these up, just make sure you keep checking back, and as time goes on, I'm sure he's going to be continuing to post more and more of these, and you should have no problem snagging yourself one of these gorgeous Moros figures. And then as far as Shane Foulkes goes, if you had seen my review of his Big Mike Triceratops not long ago, you would have seen how beautiful that model was and how much I praised its incredible sculpt. Well, he is actually going to be releasing the same Big Mike Triceratops in a bust version. So if you are a fan of busts, definitely head on over to Shane Foulkes' Facebook page or contact him through the Cretaceous Creations of America website, or of course I can contact him for you if you don't have social media, and snag yourself one of these incredible Triceratops busts. Honestly, his Triceratops is probably the best Triceratops I've ever seen in my entire life. I really can't see anyone matching it. It is that gorgeous. I really recommend picking up either the Big Mike statue itself, the one that I had reviewed, or this bust, because either way it's a win-win. And then as far as Rebore goes, as it turns out, in typical Rebore style, we will be getting numerous paint variants for their Deinosuchus. In my last news video, I had shown off a paint variant. Well, we now have a different one to take a look at, and this one has a much more greenish look to it, and now I'm kind of stumped. I really don't know which one I prefer. I was originally really sold on the first one, but I might be even more sold on this one. I just don't know. It's definitely going to be another one of those instances where I end up with both paint variants because they're just too impossibly hard to choose from. Both look incredibly realistic, lifelike, and I'm sure are going to be absolute masterpieces when they release. And then as far as Artic Figures goes, he is actually already working on yet another model. I just reviewed his Velociraptor, the 1/12 scale Velociraptor. Well, he's now working on a 1/12 scale Gallimimus. You can see it's still very early on in the sculpting stage, but it already looks incredibly beautiful, very accurate to what the Gallimimus looked like in Jurassic Park. So of course, as he progresses with this, I will continue to inform you and let you guys see the progress as he goes. And then as far as Nanmu goes, they have unveiled their full-bodied version of the Giganotosaurus. The pose, of course, isn't final. This is just kind of a neutral pose. As they sculpt it out, they'll create a pose for it afterwards, but you can see that the sculpt looks incredible. Really can't wait to get a hold of this one, because even though many people aren't really a huge fan of the Dominion style Giganotosaurus, I am a huge fan of it. I actually really like the design that they had come up with for it, kind of following that sort of stylized look that they give a lot of their theropods, and this one definitely looks really cool, so I'm very hyped for the release of this one from Nanmu. And then as far as Mattel goes, and thank you to Collect Jurassic for this information, the first thing that we have is another repack set coming from the Mattel Jurassic World Dominion line. You can see that there is a set coming with the Yanchuanosaurus, the Velociraptor Blue, as well as Owen and a motorcycle. Something that honestly I'm not too excited about because I believe it's all stuff we've already had released prior, but if you happen to have skipped out on these figures, maybe you're looking for a deal on all of them together, this might be a set for you. Regardless, I feel like it's kind of just, a little lazy. They could have given us something a little bit different, maybe some slightly different paint apps or something, but I mean, it is what it is. We have plenty other really cool releases coming from Mattel. And speaking of really cool releases from Mattel and the Jurassic World Dominion line, Collect Jurassic also just recently posted about the fact that the Extreme Damage, the newest Extreme Damage wave, is already starting to hit different stores in Malaysia. Unfortunately, the Extreme Damage line, ever since the initial first wave of their figures, the Extreme Damage line has been pretty much non-existent here in the United States. All of the newer figures we don't seem to be getting, kind of typical Walmart style where they just jip us on all of the Extreme Damage figures even though they are exclusive to that store. But it is nice to see again that this newest wave is starting to release, at least in Malaysia. So if you happen to be in Malaysia, then definitely a few figures you might want to head out and go looking for. I am going to have to probably contact somebody from Malaysia to hopefully pick them up for me, but we'll see. Maybe eventually they will show up here in the United States. Fingers crossed, because I actually think a lot of the Extreme Damage figures have been fantastic so far. And then the final thing we have are some more of the upcoming Dino Tracker figures, and this time we have some more of the wild pop-ups to take a look at. You can see that we have the Spinosaurus first of all, which looks pretty cool. I'm not the biggest fan of the pop-ups figures. I think they're okay, but I definitely preferred the Snap Squads more. But this time we have a few cool species. Again, we've got a Baryonyx making a return into this line. Well, technically I guess a debut, since the pop-ups are brand new and not the Snap Squads we had before, but we did have a Baryonyx in the Snap Squads. However, we do have an Atrociraptor now for the pop-ups, which is really quite neat. And then another species that we did have in the Snap Squads, we have the Dimorphodon as well coming back here for the pop-ups, and it actually looks pretty nice. I think the Dimorphodon might be one of the nicest out of all of them, but still really cool to see more stuff being unveiled for the upcoming Dino Trackers line. Can't wait to see even more getting unveiled, hopefully in the next few weeks. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way. But until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.